Well, I guess we're live. We live? Yeah, we're live. Okay. I guess we're live. Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome to the third floor in the, let's call it the Sports Edition NFL wrap up. We've been doing this since week one. We're into week five already. Like I said, last week was the pivotal week, week four. So, again, greetings, everybody, man. I had like 15 shows put together, and then every time I turn around, something different happens. Excuse me. So, before we get started, Chris Christopherson, James Amos. I mean, wow, man, so many people have passed this week that were absolute legends, man. And wow, just brutal. And to the people down there in Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, the Panhandle of Florida, holy, my heart's out for you, man. It's just been absolutely devastating. Um, And I know this is, it's a sports show, but, it's country first. And I'm sure you all know by now before I went on, I got the news. Iran has now fucking attacked Israel. So ain't that beautiful? Which brings me to the scroll on the bottom there. As you see, yep, we're going to be live tonight for the debate between good old J.D. Vance and old Tampon Tim there. Alrighty. So with all that being said, again, my heart's out to everybody we lost this week. There's so many I can't even. I know I missed somebody. I know I missed somebody, and I'm sorry, but again, my heart's out to everybody down there in North Carolina. So let's just try to put that aside, keep them in our hearts and thoughts and everything, and we'll go from there. So, with that being said, let's take a look. How did we do on week four? We did about as good as we did on week four as we did on week three. Terrible. Not too bad. We went 9-7. We had 9, and we went 7-9 in the over and under. Just getting warmed up, folks. I mean, a couple games really came down to some surprising stuff. I'm sure if you were in here when I did week four's picks, I was absolutely bananas about Aaron Rodgers tearing up the Denver Broncos. But I guess what I saw in Tampa the week before rolled over into the Meadowlands. I am by no means a Jet fan. Okay, let's get that straight. I'm with the Jets because of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he was in my conference. I got to see him a bunch of times. I know what the man is capable of. I'm sure, a lot of you too. We follow sports, but sometimes it's more than just the highlights we see. It's the actual games we watch. And I've seen a ton of Roger games, ton of Brett Favre games, ton of Montana games. I mean, if you want to go all the way back, I've seen a ton of Bradshaw and Roger Staubach, Billy Kilmer. I mean, if you really want to go back, that's about where it starts. But when you get into week four, at the end of week four, like I said last week, when you get into the end of week four, that's crucial. So Jet fans, there is absolutely zero reason to hit any panic button yet. Because if you look closely, Dolphins are basically done. They're pretty much done for the rest of the year. I hope Tua makes the right decision. They're talking about him coming back in a couple of weeks. I think that's absolutely absurd. And I think the Dolphins should step in. As an organization, they should step in and say, wait, you know what? Why don't you take the rest of the season to think about it? We'll see how you are next year. We'll pay you. We'll give you the shit. But let's think about his freaking brain, okay? This kid's been bounced, man. I mean, his concussions weren't just, concussion's a concussion, but man, he got whacked, boy. I mean, hard. So be careful. So it always bothers me why certain organizations just don't step in as leadership. I know that's your meal ticket, but it could also be the devastation of the team. God forbid something happens to this kid. It could end the team. Who knows? So we have to pay attention to that. Now, week four, like I said, it's there. It's here. It's gone. All right. We're into the bye weeks. Who's bye? Detroit. Who's bye? Detroit. Detroit Lions, L.A. Chargers, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Tennessee Titans. Okay. If anybody needed a break on that list, it's the Eagles and Titans because the Eagles got day ass whooped by my Bucks. What was it? 6:23 mark at a second quarter. Philly had 0. 0 yards. No yards. Stop, cold, dead, nothing. Sorry, folks. So there, we'll get into that when we get to the rest of the thing. But so Jeff Vance, look, remember who you got in the backfield. Just remember who you have in that backfield, okay? Don't ever. And I'm going to tell you something right now. You know, I know that Rodgers is going to get into this Roger thing because now he's got an attitude because of the news in New York. Remember, this is his first season under the microscope in New York, so they're going to be paying close attention to everything, like the little huggy wuggy thing there on the sideline that didn't develop. Look, if Rodgers gets an attitude, it could be detrimental for the AFC East. Because remember, the Bills aren't playing up to their par. So you ain't chasing the Patriots this year. You're not chasing the Dolphins this year. All you got to do is stay neck and neck with the Bills. Hey, pull off a win against them would help, right? That would be a major step in the right direction. But you would just have to stay pace with them. And I'm telling you, somewhere in the upcoming weeks as we pan out and we get into like week 9, which is basically the next phase of the season, we'll see where we're at there, okay? And then you can come back and look at this and say, yeah, he is a genius. Just relax. There's a problem between him and the head coach, no doubt. I don't care what anybody says. When you look at body language and certain aspects of certain things, let me tell you, there's a problem there. There's a problem there. And it might be the problem that you don't want, but it's the kind of problem that Rodgers eats alive. You know? So hang in there, Jet fans. No need to panic. Again, I am not a Jet fan by any means, but I am an Aaron Rodgers fan. I'll tell you that right now. I dig Aaron Rodgers. And I know, telling me, he's going to light it up. Which brings me to what's going on with the Giants. I think they need a little bit better of a game plan because what they got going, it ain't working, man. It ain't working, bro. You think you got problems on the sidelines with Rodgers and head coach Shillelagh, whatever his freaking name is. Giants got some real problems, man. And it's more than just coaching, man. It's spreading to the field now. And these guys, I don't know. You're in trouble, Giant fans. But, hey, I picked you this week 4, and you know what? We won. Teams we won with week 4 recap. Our winning teams are the Giants, Bucks, Saints, Redskins, 49ers, Colts, Bears, Chargers, Titans. We lost with the Packers, Panthers, Jets, the Bills, Texans. They didn't cover. And the Browns, well, I don't know. It's 50-50. Who the hell knows? And Seattle, man, with a shitty performance last night. But to be honest with you, man, Detroit looked badass last night, man. And them uniforms they was wearing, man, they were looking pretty freaking stout, man. They were looking pretty freaking stout, which is cool. So the Bucks destroyed the Eagles, absolutely manhandled them. Baker had another 300-yard game, I think 347. They've listed Evans as questionable this week, which is, I don't think we'll have a problem. And as a matter of fact, it's a quick turnaround against the Falcons in Atlanta on Thursday night, 2 nights away. So we'll get to that when we get to the picks. The Saints, I told you, I picked the Saints because I knew the Falcons wouldn't cover. Knew it would happen. I'm starting to believe in these Redskins because the Redskins have just made the NFC East a division. Eagles are grounded. The Giants are going nowhere. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. So who's next in line? Commanders. And if the Commanders play like this, guess what? They're going to win the NFC East. And it's looking pretty good for them right now. They've taken me by surprise. I shouldn't be. Yeah, well, I am surprised by that because of all the shit you hear and the preseason and everything. They look good. Ask Arizona. Ask everybody else they played. But 49ers, man, they find ways to win, and man, they are banged up. But That's going to be they're going to be a tough team to figure out. I mean, their path is heading for the playoffs. Well, I'm not saying that, but what happens when they get in the playoffs? I mean, some guys are due back, I would imagine, but right now, man, wouldn't you list them as a questionable team in the playoffs, not an automatic for the Super Bowl like many anticipated? I mean, nobody was anticipating a guy getting shot his first day in the gets traded to 49ers, says, hey, let me take a walk around Union Square here in San Francisco. Bam, gunshot to the chest. But thank God for the first responders, they saved the kid's life. But I can't recall a team ever putting a guy on the IL or whatever you want to call it for a gunshot wound. Oh, yeah, there was that dude. Yeah, that's right, that dude for the Giants. Anyway, let's move on from the nightclub scene. So the 49ers, well, they'll be okay, but kudos to the coaching staff and everybody else for stepping up the way they did. Because, that's really important. That's really important. So, all right. Colts are looking good. I know they lost their quarterback now, but look what happens. Look who steps in and takes care of things. I mean, journeymen, man. Journeymen. They're all over the NFL. You just got to know where to look for them. You just got to know where to look for them. And apparently there's a couple teams that found them. Geno Smith is the highlight of the whole thing. Regardless, last night he was still Geno, man. He kept them in the game every time they scored it. He just we'll go down the field and score. We'll score. Can't stop him. He ain't winning, man. Bottom line. Bears still a dumpster fire, but we got lucky by picking them. Chargers, we covered. Now we covered. But they got some problems too now that they're starting to expose themselves a little bit. But I think this week off will definitely give them a chance to. All right, man. What do we got coming up? What's the schedule look like? So this might be beneficial for them. And like I said, even Detroit, this might hurt Detroit, man, because they're starting to fire. Now you're slowed down and you got to fire back up. So who knows? Like I said, the bye weeks are always where they land. It's just where you get the draw, I guess. I wish I knew how they figured this shit out. If they just put it in a big drum and pull it out. But anyway, your week 5 teams off are Detroit, the Chargers, the Eagles, and Tennessee. And like I said, all them guys could use some time. But as far as Detroit being as hot as they are, could be detrimental. You never know. I could be wrong. That's why I'm sitting here. Anyway, the Titans, well, that was against the Dolphins. To me, that was a gimme. I mean, the game was just dragging, absolutely nothing, I think, until late third quarter. And I absolutely watched Seahawks, man. Wow. Like I said, they just couldn't keep pace. It was like, who gets the ball last? No, because they were always that one other score ahead. So there was no catching up last night. But stats look good, except for that one in the loss column. But hey, Seattle will be fine. They ran into a hot run. And Detroit was ready to play last night. Dan Campbell is different. He's that old school guy. Remember Wayne Fontes when you had Wayne Fontes there? That reminds me of him in a way. I don't know why. He probably shouldn't. I mean, they're like almost polar opposites. So he reminds me of a Wayne Fontes. Maybe it's the passion he has. So we'll see how that works out. Right now, it's working out beautiful for if you're a Detroit Lion fan, except for week 3. Oh, anyway, over and unders, man. Like I said, 7 and 9. I thought we were looking good, but apparently, I ain't figured it out yet. A couple of those, I think there was 2 games we lost by a hook, and 2 games by 1.5. So it got hairy. Put it to you that way. All right. Anyway, okay. Coming to you live and in front of me, because can't show it to you, of course. We got Detroit and Houston. Bottom of the 9th, bases loaded, 2 outs. It is 3-1 Detroit. Bases loaded, bottom of the 9th, 2 out. And as far as our other boys going, we have the Royals are up 1-0 over Baltimore in the bottom of the 6th. So I'll keep you appraised right there. And the Mets and Brewers are getting ready to get going. They're warming up now. So here we go. Back to the over and unders, man. Like I said, 2 games we lost by 1.5, and then 2 games we lost by a hook. So 4 games we lost by. But it happens, man. I just ain't warmed up enough. Trade talks is starting. What's his name out of the Raider there from? I just seen it. Hold on, folks. I know this is live. What is it? Adams. Adams says he prefers to be traded out of Las Vegas. So I guess things ain't going there. And here's a comment made by Rodgers. And this is why I know there's a problem. And this is why, Jet fans, this is why you don't panic. This is why you don't panic. He says him and Chalet have a great relationship. So we all know that's bullshit. But that's a good thing. There's a problem there. I like that because there's a problem there. I really, 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 really like that because there's a problem there. All right, getting back to football. Alrighty, let's go. Let's see what else we got going. Yeah, like I said, end of week 4, shit starts to surface. Got trade talks. Got coaches on the hot seat already. I think there's going to be a couple coaches taking a walk pretty soon. Maybe sooner than later. I mean, I don't know why they're calling for this dude's head in Miami. I mean, what do you want the guy to do, man? I mean, Jesus Christ, you lose your star. You lose everything, man. You lose the headline in the Miami Herald. You just, hey, help out a little bit. You know what I mean? But guys are stepping up, but man, there ain't enough to step up. And a couple of injuries, man, and they are toast. So, but man, it's going to be a long season for the Dolphins, and that's a shame. It really is. But again, what I said in the beginning of the show about Tua, this ain't about football with him, man. It's about the guy's health. So Miami Dolphins do the right thing. Step in as an organization. Tell him to take the rest of the fucking year off and think about it. If he wants to come back next year, we'll deal with it then. Right now, shut the kid down. Jesus Christ. Your season's over and done. What do you got nothing to prove with him. So cut it. Give the kid a break. And, like I said, it all happens after week 4, man. So here we are. We're looking at, let's look at the standings here. AFC, we got the Bills 3-1, Jets 2-2, New England 1-3, Miami 1-3. Like I said, Jet fans, just stay pace with them Bills. Just stay pace with the Bills. Just stay pace. And you probably are going to be all right. Looking at the North, we got Steelers 3-1, Ravens 2-2. They're starting to play ball again, so look out. This could be a nice fight. And then your Browns and Bengals are just tanking at 1-3. I think it's over for the Bengals. That is shut down. Final: Detroit 3, Houston 1. Bases loaded with 2 outs. He got the job done. And wow. Oh, the first baseman's the hero. That looks, just like me. I hated those, man. Oof, those were brutal. The ones right at your schnoz. Off a left-handed bat. Wow. So, anyway, that's the final. Detroit 3-1. They're up 1 game over the Astros. Winning. That's a big game for them, man. That's a big game, man. They're guaranteed to go back to Detroit. This team's firing. But we'll get to that in the baseball show. Other updates, we got end of 6. Royals 1, Orioles nothing. Top of 1st, just getting ready to. There's 2 outs in the top of 1st, Mets Brewers. And Braves Padres are later tonight. AFC South, we're looking at Texans 3-1, Colts 2-2, Titans 1-3, Jaguars 0-4. So it's over for the Jags, over for the Titans. Now the Colts stay pace with the Texans. Let's back it up again. Ravens stay pace with the Steelers. Jets stay pace with the Bills. You see how it runs right now? It's in your favor. It's in your favor, and you need to keep the stronghold that you got. So you got that pace. You got that couple game breather. But keep it going. They'll keep stretching it because when they win, it doesn't really matter to you. There will always be 1, 2, 3 steps ahead. Chiefs 4-0, Chargers 2-2, Broncos 2-2, Raiders 2-2. So The rest of the field we'll probably have to wait till about week 6, week 7 to see how that shifts out. But right now, your division leaders, they have to just, well, of course, stay ahead, but there's so many factors coming in now because now you get weather changes in certain areas. Certain areas are going to have a lot of rain. Certain areas are going to be pretty cold. So things start to work out. Like I said, in week 5, the NFC East, we have the Washington Commanders at 3-1, Cowboys 2-2, Eagles 2-2, Giants 1-3. The Eagles they ain't looking at it, man. There's nothing to be scared of right there, right now. And Cowboys are the Cowboys. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The NFC North. You got the Vikings at 4-0. You got the Lions at 3-1. Bears 2-2. Packers 2-2. The only hope for the Packers is their schedule. That's their only hope. Is their schedule is kind of in their favor right now. But the Vikings and Lions, now the Vikings they're playing the Jets. We'll get into this in week 5 picks. But Minnesota and the Jets are off to London. Let's not forget. That's a Sunday morning game for the London thing. So let's remember that. So these guys ain't even playing here, man. They're flying across the Great Pond over there. So this is crucial week for the Vikings. A loss doesn't kill them, but we'll get to it in week 5. NFC South, we got the Bucks at 3-1, Falcons 2-2, Saints 2-2, Panthers are done. All right, so what I've seen out of the Falcons the last couple of games, I'm not worried about them. Tampa's going into Atlanta. I am not. We're going to be fine. We'll get into that in week 5. The Saints, I'm not worried, man. Not worried. I am not worried about what we are ahead of. What I am concerned of is which team the Panthers are going to pick to screw everything up. That's the key right there. Who the Panthers going to screw up? And then in the NFC West, we have Seattle 3-1, Niners 2-2, Arizona 1-3, Rams 1-3. Rams, Cardinals. I tell you, don't get excited about the Cardinals. So they've showed their true colors. They're where they're at. Rams, I don't know. They're getting close to a dumpster fire. Because I don't know what's going on in LA right now, but that's what it's looking like. And it's pretty sad. Not in a way, because it's nice to get a variety of new teams in there. And the teams that are coming up and getting in there are pretty impressive teams with some pretty impressive ball players. After a while, you start getting tired of these guys because the media just shoves shit down your throat that you don't need. Kelsey and Swift and Kermit and this and that. And I'm getting sick of the freaking Kansas City Chiefs and these refs, man. I don't know what is going on, man. I really don't. Now, everybody was talking about the game that they beat, I think it was Buffalo, I guess. I think it was Buffalo they were playing. I can't remember. But there was a pass interference call, which led to the win. On that same play in the backfield, the refs had their choice of 4 fouls on 2 guys because both guys had their hands in the defensive guy's face, plus they were holding right in front of a ref. Now, if you don't believe, go back. I think it's week 2. I think it was week 2 game. Go back and look at that play, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. If they, look for the replay. I think there's one where they show the angle coming off of where Mahomes throwing the ball. It's just centered on him. So it's there. And look right up to his throwing arm, and you'll see it plain as day. 2 guys just lit up. No call. But they called the pass interference down the field, which that was pretty questionable. So, yeah, not conspiracy theorist, but you know what? That's pretty odd, my friends. That's That's not cool. So, let's refs. Keep it in. Jets, 13 penalties? Holy shit, okay? These guys are flag happy this year. Not only that, but where they're throwing them and when they're throwing them. Calm down with the laundry, as they used to say. So anyway, all right, let's get on to the week 5 picks here. Let's see, who do we got on week 5? Who do we got week 5? All right, week 5. All right, week 5. I went through this pretty quickly. I didn't have too much to really think about because when you're, what was I, 7-9, or no, 9-7 this week, you just start throwing darts after a while. But anyway, well, let's start with the Thursday game, which is the Bucks visiting Atlanta. Atlanta's -1.5. Of course, give me the Bucks. Look for the Bucks for big. Look for the Bucks to open it up on these Falcons. Trust me on that one. The London game, the NFL International Series. We have the Jets visiting the Minnesota Vikings in London. Minnesota -2.5. I will take the Jets. Give me the Jets and the 2.5. Dolphins and Patriots. Patriots -1. Panthers Bears. Let's see what we got here. We got the Bucks, the Jets, the Pats at 1.5. We got the Bears -3.5 over the Ravens. No, I'm sorry. What am I talking about? Where are we at here? Panthers and Bears. Yeah, I got the Bears. It says here -4, so the line moved. I had 3.5. Colts, Jaguars. Give me the Colts. Bills and Texans. Take the Texans. What is that? It's Texas +1. Ravens and Bengals. Give me the Ravens -2.5. Browns and Commanders. It took took Washington -3. Raiders and Broncos. Broncos -2.5. Cardinals and 49ers. 49ers -7.5. We got Niners. Giants and Seahawks. Take the Seahawks -6. Giants just don't ever play good out there in Seattle. I don't know. That's a long trek cross country, man. But yeah, give me Seattle, and that line moved too? No, 6. Packers Rams. I'll take the Packers -3.5. Then we got the Sunday night game. Cowboys visiting Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh -2.5. We are taking the Steelers -2.5. And on the Monday night game, we got the referees, and we got the Kansas City Chiefs, and we got the New Orleans Saints playing. I'm going to take the Chiefs -5. I don't know. I got to go where the flag is going. I mean, I don't know what to tell you on that one. I got to go where the flag's going. So I got to take KC on that -5. When we look at our over-unders, Bucks in Atlanta is a 43.5. We're going over. Jets and Vikings is 40.5. We're going to go over. And that game is in London, like I said. Miami and New England, 35.5. We'll go under on that one. Carolina, Chicago, 41.5. We're going to go over on that one. Colts and Jaguars, 46.5. Jaguars can't get on the board. We're going under on that one. Bills and Texans, 46.5. We'll go over. Ravens and Bengals, 50.5. We'll go over. Browns and Washington, 43.5. We'll go over. Raiders in Denver, 36.5. We'll go over. Arizona and the 49ers, 50.5. Wow, we'll go over. Giants in Seattle, 41.5. We'll go under. I don't think the Giants could. I think Seattle can win the game 41-0. To be honest with you. So I'm going to take the under there. Packers and Rams, 47.5. We'll go under. Dallas and Pittsburgh Sunday night game, 42.5. We're going to go under on that one. Saints in Kansas City, 42.5. The exact same number on Monday night. We got to take the over on that one. It's just probably just going to be one of those shootout games where Kermit comes through with a ball and he throws from like behind his left leg while his right arm is. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, there's the picks. There are the picks for Week 5. And again, like I said, Detroit, the LA Chargers, the Eagles, and Tennessee all off during Week 5, which is Week 1 of the bye week. So just to fast forward to week 6, we will be on Thursday night, October 10th. We are looking at the Niners at Seattle. Sunday is the Buccaneers at the Saints. We're starting to play our division, obviously. So that's a big game. Then we have another international game in London, which will see the Jaguars and Bears. And then we have the Cardinals and Packers, Colts, Titans, Browns, Eagles, Texans, Patriots, Washington and Baltimore, Chargers, Broncos, Steelers, Raiders, Falcons, Panthers, Lions, Cowboys, Bengals, Giants on Sunday night. Wow. And then we have Monday night, we have Buffalo at the Jets. Your teams off for week 6 will be Kansas City, the Rams, the Dolphins, and the Vikings. So that's just a quick peek into week 6 real quick. But there you go. Week 4's wrap up. Week 5's picks, overs and unders. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Again, I had a whole different type of show prepared, but like I said, everything just changes by the second right now, whether it be on that front or this front. Even the sports world, being racked again with losing Pete Rose. That's why I forgot. How could I forget Pete Rose? That's why, because I won't accept it. That's probably why I probably blanked Pete Rose being gone out of my mind. Again, man, I wish this was a baseball show. But when we do, we're going to have a baseball show coming up real quick, probably tomorrow. Tonight, we're going to be live again right here on Rumble, streaming to YouTube. I'm trying to get it on X, but yeah, we're going to cover the debate live. I don't think you want to miss that. So if you're here watching it right now or whatever, if you're tuning in after this goes off, rants available. I got the scroll there. If you would love to help the show out, man, we really appreciate it. It takes a lot to get the show going, and it takes a lot behind the scenes too. That people don't realize when you do this thing. So they just think you just push the camera and go, man. There's a lot involved in it, especially if you want something solid. If you want a good show, you want to bring in an audience, you got to give them something. And we're working hard, and we want to continue to do that. And I think we're doing a good job from the numbers and everything coming out. So if you're on YouTube watching me, please give it a like, give it a sub, leave a comment. Would love to see what you have to say. Drop your picks. We'll see what happens. I'll be more than happy to do that. On Rumble, I got the rant available there. Man, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you would love to. Like I said, we're moving forward. We're working hard, like I said, behind the scenes, and we're going to keep it going. We do have merch coming. Like I said, merch is right around the corner. So please stay with us. Hang in there. Enjoy the content, I would say. Enjoy the content as it's delivered to you, because again, everybody talks about the big guys up there. Well, it's not easy competing with them. Of course we can't compete with them, but we can provide a different voice to kind of get away from all that, what you're going to hear, what you're used to, and kind of just, whatever, you get into a groove. It's always nice to hear a fresh voice, a fresh outlook. And hey, if you're new to the sport or something like that, man, it's always enjoyable to find something new. But then again, some people find it and you turn into a cult. That's what we would like to do here on the third floor. We got a lot planned. We got a lot coming up. So please, if you can help the show, we'd really appreciate it. Drop the comment. I mean, the live stream's up and everything else. This is a weird hour for us to go. It's only, I don't know, what time is it here? It's only 2:52 on the West Coast here in lovely Berkeley, California. The sun's shining, man. It is 96 degrees today. It's a beautiful day. I want to spread that joy and hope everybody where you're at is just as a beautiful day. So, like I said, we'll be back later tonight. We're going to be on at 5:30 Pacific time, if everything goes right. If I could do this again, I know it's going to go on at 1, but hey, I got tied up doing something. But we will be on live about a half hour before the actual debate starts. Maybe 20. Let's call it 20 of. We'll give a 20-minute preamp. We'll listen to the two guys go at it. We'll have some fun with it and enjoy it. So if you're here, like I said, watching in replay, come back and join us tonight live. Put something in the chat. Live chat will be up. Comment, anything. And on YouTube, again, like, subscribe, please. Please subscribe. Please hit the like. Please share. Wow. Okay. Overboard? Nah. That's how everybody else does it. Please help. No, I'm just asking. If you could help the show, we really appreciate it, man. And like I said, we've got more coming up. So hopefully you'll come back later on, and we'll see you tonight with the J.D. Vance and Tampon Tim vice presidential debate live right here on the third floor. So until then, I would say to my dear friends, if I can get this working correctly, I guess not. Oh. Whoops. There we go. Oh, there we go. It helps when you turn the mouse on. So, like again, back tonight, 5:30, 5:40, somewhere in between there for the vice presidential debate. And again, thank you for tuning in and checking out week 4 recap, week 5's picks, and we'll be back again. And don't forget, I got a baseball. We'll have a show. We'll probably go tomorrow morning. We'll go live or something like that. But I will be bringing up a baseball one as we get into the playoffs. As I sign off at the end of 1, it's Brewers 2, Mets nothing. Bottom of the 8th, Royals 1, Orioles nothing, and a final out of Houston, Detroit 3-1 over the Astros. So there you have it, up to the very second. Okay, there you have it. 2-0 Brewers over the Mets, 1-0 Royals over the Orioles, and we'll be back at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time for live the vice presidential debate. I want to say presidential, but vice presidential debate live. J.D. Vance, Tampon Tim. We'll see you then. And again, remember, when you come up to the third floor, remember to bowl up, to bong up, and then beam on up to the third floor. We'd love to have you. We'll just be hanging out in time and space. Peace, people.